went down to Alabama A&M last Tuesday, September the 6th, and that was their first home game. And I scheduled that match because that's a really unique environment to play in down there, and I thought it would help our freshmen, kind of get used to a kind of a wild environment. It's kind of like some of the schools in our conference. So we went down there and didn't play great in the first set, but then kind of let the game slow down and just played really well the last three and really handled them well. We had a great performance out of Ashley Doherty in that match, and thought that would help prepare us for the weekend. And then we go up to Kansas City, play the host school the first night, and honestly did not play really well in that game. We were really close. I think we lost about 2 points in the first set, 3 in the next 2, and that was a tough loss because it was frustrating because we did not play well, but still almost won all 3 of those games. So, we regrouped and played really good volleyball against Montana State the second day, and then had a 2-0. We were up 2-0 on Belmont and ended up losing in the 15-13 in the 5th, which was a tough loss. But it's through those. I think it's through losses like that that we can learn a lot about our team, and I really believe that's one that we're going to look back on and say that we're going to learn from. So we'll see going into the conference schedule this weekend. Our scheduling this year, I think this has been the best schedule for us since I've been here, as far as the level of competition, home versus away, and all those dynamics considered. As far as preseason conference is scheduled, we did host the second weekend of the preseason and lost all 3. But those 3 matches are going to go a long way to help us get ready for season. UAB obviously is a huge team. They're probably way bigger than any team that we have faced or will face this year. So playing against teams like that are going to help us. Stephen F. Austin is very similar to the type of competition that we'll face in our conference. Very scrappy, just maybe a little smaller, about like us as far as height, but just really good defensively. And that was a battle. We just came up short there. We didn't play terrible, didn't play great. We just came up a little short. And then obviously Illinois State. I mean, they're a top 100 team. I mean, they're pretty good. They play in a really competitive conference in the Missouri Valley, and we knew that we were going to have to play well to beat them, and we just didn't. But playing against that type of competition, learning what we need to work on, what we're exposed at, is good for us. And obviously this past weekend we just kind of, there are a few more things that we need to work on, but all those things are going to help us going into conference this week. So the dynamic of the team right now is good. We obviously were upset at the loss against Belmont to lose the way we did, but the girls are focused. We've talked about segmenting the season into 3 different segments, the first being our non-conference schedule, which is the first 10 games of the year. The second segment would be the first time that we play teams in our conference, the first round. And obviously the second segment is the last time we play them, so the double round robin portion of the schedule. And we want to try to win each segment. We obviously went 5-5 in the first segment, so we didn't win that, but it did help us prepare for the matches coming up this weekend. And I think that that we're going to be ready come Friday night. The new people are the difference. Not only their skill set, but the number that we have. Our roster size has really helped us this year. The young ladies that we have on roster are very talented, and that goes a long way. Whereas we struggled in the past with experience, and not just experience as far as sheer number of games, but experience against really good competition. These girls come in playing in a club season that where they're playing against kids that are going to play at the Ohio States and the Kentuckys and Illinois. So they're used to playing at a high level and playing with kids at a high level, and that has made the transition for people like Allie, for Emily Keaton, and for the other girls to be pretty seamless. There are still things they need to learn. They still make freshman mistakes, and that's to be expected, but their level of their freshman status is just simply an age. It's not really where they are as far as maturity and volleyball skills. So my first year here, we really struggled defensively, and we really needed somebody to anchor the defense, and that was one of my major goals in the class of 2009, to bring somebody in to do that, and she's far exceeded my expectations of what she could do, and this year she's playing probably some of the best volleyball that I've seen her play, which is encouraging, because we got a whole rest of a conference schedule and a whole other year with her, so that's exciting. But yeah, she's just really stable back there. She's not only productive, but she's a team captain and expects the most out of everybody around her, and that's good. That's one of the words that we talked about this past weekend, was just holding each other accountable. It's okay that that we expect the most out of each other, and she does that. It's always good when one of your best players on the team is also one of the hardest working, and I think that kind of wraps up her, the way that we look at her and the way that we depend on her. So she's a really key player for us. This conference schedule is, we know that this is important starting this weekend. Our goal is to not just be a participant of the OVC tournament, but to be one of the top teams in that. Obviously, that's a far cry from what we've done the last two seasons, but we believe strongly that we are one of the better teams in the conference. And we got a lot of work to do, but we're making strides in the right direction, and just looking forward to starting the conference schedule this weekend, as I'm sure the other teams are too. We play the first 4 games on the road, which is probably one of the tougher schedules in the conference this year, but I think it would be a great statement if we could come out of those first 2 weekends playing really well, and hopefully the results show that.